refugee crisis, they squeezed between 5,000 and 6,000 people onto a train that normally would seat around 200, moving around 90,000 people a day. That's about 6 times the capacity of the conditions before this Russian invasion started. So joining me now is the CEO of Ukrainian Railways passenger company, Alexander Pertsovsky. He oversees the rail operation, which has helped carry many of those 2 million refugees to safety. Sir, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have seen these very tough images of people crowding onto train platforms, pushing to try to get onto trains to try to escape, waiting for days at the train stations. How is your network holding up, the physical network holding up? Are you worried about Russia bombing the tracks?
Well, above all, such an incredible human migration was possible due to really heroic work of our railway employees. Because you can imagine like 20,000 of passenger service employees. Some of them lost their homes. Some of them don't have effectively anywhere to return, but they keep working for 10 to 12 days without any break to facilitate this movement. So this is number one. In terms of the physical infrastructure, we always have to balance the risks of either sending those evacuation trains in the areas with the heavy shelling or not doing so. But we know that millions of people still live in the very difficult conditions and risk their lives under heavy shelling every day. So we keep running. 90% net still under our control. So we find alternative routes to pretty much get everywhere people need a.
You mentioned your staff and really the incredible work that they're doing. We understand that the vast majority of them have kept coming to work throughout all this. What do you say to them as their leader to keep them going? And what do they say to you about why they keep coming to work?
Well, first of all, we are not like sitting somewhere in the shelter, beneath the surface of Earth. So what we are doing is always on the go. We have a command center that is mobile. And like right now, for example, we are returning from the city of Odessa. Yesterday, we were in the city of Liman, where it's like in the very east of Ukraine. And it's pretty difficult to get to people in some of the towns near there. So we are standing right next to them. And I think that motivates people. Second, we launched a program that is called Iron Heroes, specifically for the railway employees. And every day we find up to 10 distinguished employees, some of the train drivers who, despite the heavy fighting, went and took passengers from some remote stations, or rail track maintenance engineers that go and fix segments of the network that was damaged. So we motivate and show. And I'm really, really honored to be among such people that doing this work in very tough conditions. And of course, even rail station personnel that has to do a lot of crowd management. And you can imagine with these 2 million people boarded our trains in the last 15 days, there was no single casualty at the train stations. No one was injured in this crowd. So we set up together with the volunteers of centers at the train stations. We take care of children, because a lot of women with the really young children also board the trains. We try to do the priority boarding for them. And I think what motivates our employees is they see they effectively saving lives, and they see what happens to those people who didn't manage to evacuate. Unfortunately, a lot of lives are lost.
Yeah, they really are saving lives. We've seen so many of those heartbreaking scenes at those train stations as families say goodbye to each other. Alexander Pertsovsky, thank you so much for what you and your staff do. You are doing such a critical job for so many Ukrainians across this country. Thank you for your time.